So in case anybody wants to know, I am a fan of Tua. I love Tua. I believe that Tua Tagovailoa is an elite quarterback when he's healthy. But when Tua is not healthy, he is no longer an elite quarterback. The Miami Dolphins cannot afford to miss 5 games from their starting quarterback. But however, I love Tua. I think he's a great guy. I think he's a great quarterback. That being said, let's get on with the rest of the video.
I had to play my disclaimer because in these volatile times, I find it absolutely necessary. I gotta find a way to use that more often. So yesterday, somebody told Jeff Darlington from ESPN that the Miami Dolphins are going to basically ride or die behind Tua Tagovailoa. Here's Darlington's tweet. The Dolphins will not be pursuing Lamar Jackson or any other starting quarterbacks this offseason. Multiple team sources tell me this. As one source said, Mike, and this is a quote, Mike McDaniel fully believes that Tua is the perfect fit for the system. That tweet was posted after a day of Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Lamar Jackson, insert quarterback name here, rumors about the Dolphins looking at some alternatives and exploring all their options. And once that tweet was posted, the Tua faithful cheered in unison. Somebody unnamed in the tweet once again reaffirmed to the world that Tua Tagovailoa is him. He will be QB1 for the Miami Dolphins. They're not looking for anybody else. To the Tua faithful who viciously attacked Jacina Anderson and her sources, to the Tua faithful who viciously attacked Rich Eisen and his sources, somehow Jeff Darlington's sources are absolutely fine. For now. Mind you, this is the very same Jeff Darlington who said this last week.
But if Tua had just a bad year, stayed healthy and just had a bad year, Lamar Jackson to the Dolphins would be the most obvious slam dunk in the world. He is a South Florida guy. He would be running in Mike McDaniel's system with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. This team would be on their way to the Super Bowl. I don't know if they'll ever be able to wrap their head around it and move on from Tua and do something for Lamar. I'm just telling you right now, this makes more sense to me than anything else when we talk about Lamar Jackson going to a football team.
I like that. Yeah. What do you think, Chris?
Well, I mean, I'm sure Lamar Jackson wouldn't mind going back home to play pro football. But, I mean, if Lamar Jackson is on the Miami Dolphins, you are talking about the fastest offense in NFL history. That's what you're looking at.
Sure.
I mean, they would rival the greatest show on turf, the 2013 Denver Broncos. Like, you're talking about them being that level of explosive. And I'll say this, 2 future first-round draft picks for Lamar to lock in certainty at quarterback for the next decade, not a big price to pay.
And when Darlington said that, they attacked him as well. But now that he has come to Jesus and realized that Tua is QB1, all is fine after the tweet he made yesterday. The cult is so insanely frothing for anybody who gives them reaffirmation that Tua is the anointed one. They don't even bother to stop, pause, take some quiet time, and think about things. In fact, this video you're watching right now is being made solely because of what somebody said to me on Twitter. Here's a guy that actually invited me to make this video. Marcus A. Nesbitt, also known as The Man, said to me yesterday, the Dolphins appear to have said no, regardless of what Jacina Anderson reported. You know, Jeff Darlington's more important today. Let's see if you do YouTube on this breaking news report. I'm sorry I couldn't do a breaking news. I took my wife out to dinner last night, but here it is. I got one for you today. But what I told him, he may not understand. So Marcus, here's my video. And I also told you, as you see right here, I'll make a video, but you probably won't like it. Here's the deal with my perspective. I, and probably you, know the history of the Miami Dolphins being spanked for tampering. So I have one question for you. Given the fact that they were spanked really hard by the NFL for tampering, they lost a first-round draft pick. Stephen Ross got fined and booted and put on double secret probation, had to leave the team for a couple months. Do you honestly think, knowing that history, that the Miami Dolphins brain trust would talk to anybody about any moves that they're considering making prior to the start of free agency, which is March 13th? Think about that. Oh, Barry, what about Derek Carr? Derek Carr was a free agent. As soon as the Raiders released him, he was a free agent. Well, Barry, what about Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers was given permission by the Green Bay Packers to talk to the New York Jets. Nobody else had that permission. But Barry, what about Tom Brady? You talked about Tom Brady. Yeah, but he's still under contract with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He doesn't become a free agent until March 13th. And oh my God, do you not understand that right now, the Miami Dolphins can't even enter the Lamar Jackson sweepstakes? They can't deal with the franchise tag payment. They don't have 2 first-round draft picks to give up. So they can't even talk about him right now. So what the hell do you expect the Miami Dolphins to be telling Jeff Darlington or anybody else about what their plans are moving forward? They may indeed be riding or dying with Tua. That is their decision to make. But words right now from sources, including Rich Eisen, who I posted about, are meaningless. It is talk. That's all we have is talk right now. I'm not understanding why people don't realize that, but sources, whatever those sources are, people may have good sources, people may have bad sources. Who knows who the sources are? But everything is conjecture until March 13th. This time next week, we may have a much clearer perspective on everything. But as I've said before, we are watching a high-stakes game of poker being played out in front of us. So to all of you Tuaners, Tuaneers, whatever they call them, be happy, be elated right now. Oh, and before I go, let me show you this tweet from the esteemed Barry Jackson, who the Tuaneers find, they hold him dear because he's supporting Tua. Check out this tweet. The door closes on Lamar Jackson at this time. At this time. Do you understand what at this time means? Do you understand that things are still fluid? Do you understand that nobody really knows what's going to happen in the next 7 to 10 days or maybe even a month because they can't even talk to Lamar Jackson until after the NFL draft? You got to think, man. You got to put your thinking hats on and understand nobody knows what's going on right now. Not Barry, not Jeff Darlington, not ESPN, not Jacina Anderson, not Rich Eisen, definitely not me, definitely not you. Everything is in play. This is a major decision that's about to happen. This is a billion-dollar organization. Get mad all you want. Hang on every word that some people say, but even Barry Jackson just says in this tweet, at this time, because he understands everything is fluid. Everything. See what I mean? Finally, don't come at me. I'm showing you information. I'm not a Tua hater. I just understand the process. And all I got to find out now is Marcus here happy that I made today's video? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Fins up.
Is anybody catching on to this Barry guy?